Hi everyone, good morning. Time to rise and shine on this Monday. Let's make it a great week. I'm Tim Pham, and meteorologist Thomas Patrick is helping us start off our week by getting us out the door with our weather forecast. And Thomas, I see a lot of green on your map, so does that mean it's pretty much raining all across the inland northwest?
It's raining for about half of the inland northwest, and we're tracking just how this rain is starting to shift northward even over the past couple hours here. So in fact, I have to update the radar. Let's just slide that a little bit to the north. There we go. Now we're looking at the areas that are completely covered in these light showers, and it's kind of about I-90 and northward at the moment as you see a very tail end of some rainfall just exiting the South Hill, might be exiting downtown Spokane just shortly here. Yeah, this is largely moving northward, so for those of you farther to the south, like out in Pullman, it's going to be a pretty nice day today as you'll be void of most of the rainfall. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. And our current temperatures are very mild, upper 40s, if not already in the 50s by 7 a.m.
A traffic alert this morning. Drivers, listen up. Construction season is officially back. Several roads are closing starting today. And our Nicole Hernandez is helping you get around all of these changes. So Nicole, what roads are closing and what do drivers need to know this morning? Good morning.
Tim, good morning. A lot of big closures happening this month. Take a look up behind me here. You can see Riverside, those road closed signs officially up as of now. Riverside right here in the middle of downtown will be closed from here at Stevens down to Wall Street for the month of April. Here's a look at some of the other closures to go along with this Riverside closing. Howard Street in downtown will also be closed from Sprague to Riverside. Up north, crews will close some lanes of Wellesley Avenue from Haven Street to Market Street. That's so WashDOT can do some water infrastructure replacements as part of the north-south freeway corridor work. Thor and Freya will have some lanes closed between Sprague and Hartson. Crews will be painting the permanent lane lines there. North 8th Street between Rowan and Francis Avenue will be closed. Drivers should use Alberta Street instead. And last, crews will reduce traffic to one lane on North Monroe Street between Summit Boulevard and Boone Avenue. The city says that all of these projects should be finished up by the end of the month, the end of April, weather permitting, of course. And they're also asking that anyone that is supporting the businesses that are in the area of these closures continue to do that, as of course foot traffic will be less with these road closures. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
This morning, an investigation is underway in a deadly shooting at the Silver Lake Plaza in Coeur d'Alene. Police say this was a chaotic confrontation with someone trying to break into cars. So on Friday, police say an older man armed with a handgun saw the theft happening and confronted the man. He then got into a car and sped towards the older man, hitting him with the car. He ended up on the hood of the car, and once on the hood, the older man shot his gun while the car was moving, hitting the driver at least once. He was brought to a hospital where he died.
Do not mess with North Idaho. We are a different crowd here. A lot of people have been trained. A lot of people do carry, and we are ready to defend ourselves and each other.
Coeur d'Alene police have not released the identities of either people involved. In our In Session series, we help you make sense of the hot topics in the state legislature. Over the weekend, the Washington State Senate passed a bill that would ban assault weapons. The bill defines dozens of guns that would qualify. It doesn't ban the possession of an assault weapon, so anyone who owns one can keep them. The bill also allows exemptions for law enforcement and the military.
Gun violence is an emergency. Kids getting shot in schools is an emergency.
An amendment was added to the bill, giving manufacturers 90 days after the bill goes into effect to sell inventory to out-of-state dealers only if they had it prior to January 1st of this year. Now the bill heads back to the House for further approval. Governor Jay Inslee is expected to sign this bill once it reaches his desk. Another gun bill passed in Olympia this weekend. If signed into law, it would require a 10-day waiting period for all firearm purchases.
Many people make very impulsive decisions, and this simply says, let's take a breath. Let's make sure if you are going to be a danger to yourself or to others, there is a cooling off period.
It would also require a more comprehensive background check and proof the buyer passed an approved safety course. The bill is drawing opposition from some state Republicans.
This bill is not needed. It's not needed to protect our children. It's not needed to protect any safety. It is an impairment, and it jeopardizes public safety, Mr. President.
It now heads to the governor's desk. Governor Jay Inslee signaled he will sign both of these pieces of gun reform legislation. However, the bills are expected to face legal challenges.
I can absolutely guarantee that this is going to be challenged by one or more federal lawsuits because it violates the Second Amendment.
Similar state laws to Washington's gun control legislation have faced litigation. In Oregon, for example, Measure 114 was approved by voters, but it is now being held up in the courts. It bans high-capacity magazine sales and requires a permit for purchase.
It goes to a federal lawsuit. First, it'll be in the district court here in Washington. Then it'll go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals down in San Francisco. And ultimately, it'll probably wind up be for the U.S. Supreme Court.
Some advocates against these gun reforms want the U.S. Supreme Court to get involved because of the 6-3 conservative majority, which has been willing to expand gun rights. Last year, ruling for the first time Americans have a right to carry a handgun in public for self-defense. Meanwhile, a bill to help address the hospital staffing shortage in our state is on its way to the governor's desk for his signature. Supporters call it a comprehensive compromise between healthcare worker unions and hospital executives. One key point: if hospitals fall out of compliance with staffing plans, they'll be required to report it to the state. A corrective action plan would then be developed. The bill also expands laws for meal and rest breaks and addresses loopholes in current overtime laws. All right, let's head on over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Weather Center, tracking more rain today. Good morning, Thomas.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. And weather-wise, things are going to stay pretty rainy all day long for today. And Doppler radar is going to help to indicate just where that rain is aimed at and where it is heading. As we look at the regional wide view, this is all about the atmospheric river, a weak to moderate atmospheric river. Nothing as extreme as, say, what California has had in the recent months here, but it is enough to tell the tale of where this rain is heading. And it's basically straight through Portland, through central and northern Washington, at least as of now. And it is just slowly drifting northward as well. So our northern areas are likely to get more rain today than, say, the southern areas of the inland northwest. Subtle difference, but enough to make a difference temperature-wise. In Spokane, we're kind of right in the middle and should still be able to crack 60 degrees for the second straight day.